Hello, my name is Michael Elliott. Let's play HAXEN. This video is a long time coming. I may have been saying I was going to do this a long time ago. It has been much requested since I kickstarted this a few years ago, and this is my single-player post-apocalyptic exploration RPG. These days I would probably refer to it as an extraction game, where you are going into hostile territory and trying to leave with as much materials and information as you can. So let's get into it. HAXEN was a game that I wanted to make that has the fewest moving parts possible. So what that means is you don't need any dice or any extra sheets to play this game. It comes on just 8 pages, and everything you need to play is in here, including the back cover. So let's get into it. We'll start by reading out some text, then getting into the game. We call you HAXEN. You make incursions into the Requiem, the murdered world, killed by the sorceress rich. You slay terrible monsters and find precious salvage for your commune. In the Requiem, ancient technology acts like horrible magic. The world is twisted. Time is bent. What will you find out there? What does fate foretell? How long until your corpse joins the billions already dead? HAXEN is a single-player RPG about exploring a science fantasy wasteland called the Requiem. You play by marking the runes on the rune matrix for everything you encounter, locations you find, actions you take, and lore you create. The tables in this book show you what each rune can represent, and these rules will instruct you when to look at certain tables and what runes to mark. If there are multiple runes of the same type in a list, you choose which to use. When you are told to mark a rune, look at the rune matrix and cross out a rune or fill in its square in some way to show it is marked. When you are instructed to mark the next rune, mark the topmost unmarked rune, progressing left to right along the rune matrix's rows. When the game says mark any rune, you can mark any unmarked rune in the rune matrix. So the rune matrix is our randomizer, the way we are going to decide certain things. It comes in here. There are common runes, uncommon runes, and rare runes. There's only 3. The common ones are these like vertical ones with the lines through them. The uncommon ones have this Z shape in the middle, and the rare ones are these hourglass looking runes. So we mark a next rune. We start at the top, working right to left, and we mark any rune. We can pick and choose any unmarked rune on the list. This sort of determines the pace of the game as well, because when this starts to get filled in, you can't exit the Requiem without taking damage and stuff like that. So let's just get into it. I want to do a couple runs to show the general flow of the game. And so let's go to playing the game. To make a new character, Mark any 2 runes on the rune matrix for a background. Any 1 for a hex. Any 1 to 3 runes for a name. So these are possible backgrounds here. Note we can't mark 2 of the common ones. We can do a mix of common and uncommon. So let's do that. I'm going to be a paladin. The hacks of your commune. Defender and killer both. Why does the commune want you to leave? Well, let's cross out those 2 runes. So we have you, and it's important to do these in order. And a common one. Let's do this one. This is 82. So we are a paladin. This is going to be tough to do with the camera here. It's all good. Anyone for a hex. Hexes are tools, weapons, relics. Ooh. Dead glass, laser and wires, rope and bone. I like having a very strong hex to start, so our hex is made from laser and wires to start. And we mark any for that, I believe. Yes. Let's do another last one. And then any, I think it's 1 to 3 for a name. Yeah, 1 to 3 runes for a name. Let's do 2 common runes. Let's do Zanam. Do the last ones again. Hopefully this is showing up all right on camera. That was Zanam. Angle this when I write it. We are Zanam, the paladin. Our commune wants us to leave. I wonder why. Start in any hexagon hex on the Requiem map. Let's start right in the middle. Let's go right here. That'll be a starting hex. When you begin in a blank hex or finish a move in a blank hex, mark the next rune on the rune matrix for location, which is one of the entries that match the rune you marked. Draw your interpretation in the hexes. You may then move to other hexes or explore the current hex. Select one of those tables, imagine what your character does, then mark the next rune, and consult the associated table to see what happens. But before you leave to explore the Requiem, the commune delivers a prophecy of something you may witness. Mark the next 2 runes, consult the prophecy table, and write your interpretation on the character sheet. So, for prophecy, mark the next 2. What do we have for our next 2? We have 2 common runes. So, you know what? Monsters and mourning. This is why we have to leave. As the defender, it's our job to slay these monsters of the Requiem, and we failed. Someone important died. Someone everyone liked. Now no one likes us. So, this is what the commune prophesies. Travel is to be about monsters and mourning. So, once we get started playing this game, it sort of, I wouldn't say it plays itself, but you get the idea. So we need a location. The next rune, we need to cross out the runes for our prophecy. next rune is a rare rune. This could be an ancient wreck, a church, or another commune. When we draw in hexes equal to the indicated number, so these common ones are all going to be 1. I like church. Let's go with that. There's an old church here. And however you draw is up to you. I'm not much of an artist, but do my best here. So, something like that. Some windows. Its roof is fallen in. It's old. Maybe whatever symbol is on top busted off a long time ago. Yeah, maybe more of a thing to remind us that it's a church. Well, what do we do here? Explore? I think so. Mark the next rune to delve, survey, or search. Well, our next rune, we did the rare rune. Our next rune is uncommon. A challenge as above, then counter. Oh, good. Oh, a challenge. That's the name of it. A challenge, as above, then encounter. So, mark the next rune to delve, survey, or search. So, as above, we find lore, then we encounter. So, lore. We are going to know a fact about the world. Mark any rune, to write about a person, place, thing, then name it. Ooh. Well, let's name this place, this location. So first off, we did that. We're gonna do any, so let's do this one. Let's name this location. What is it going to be called? Important to know when you're naming, you can add further words if you want. Usually I'm doing this sort of thing. I look for like fractions of things, or combine different words together. So my first thought is it could be Zen again. And instead of a church, this is more of like a monastery, like it used to be in our world, a Zen garden. But all our paladin sees Zanam is Zen and thinks that means something. Well, let's redraw this. We can do better. I like the idea of we have like this sand garden below. You know, it's all ruined at this point, and then above it like a outcropping is our church. All alone in the Requiem, this isolated place. And it is Zen, the Zen garden. We have lore. We have things that's going to stay as the world changes. Quiet place of reflection. So we've explored. Zanam has found the name of this place, probably feeling inspired because it shares a name with him. When you begin in a hex with a drawing or finish a move in a hex with a drawing, cross out the next rune on the rune matrix and pick an encounter that matches that rune. Imagine the encounter and your character's response. Your character may overcome, aid, move, or explore. Select one of these tables, mark out the next rune. But we need to have an encounter because that was the result of our explore move. So we have encounter. So our encounter is going to be an uncommon rune. Whoa, I just kicked my whole frickin' setup. Okay, that's mostly correct now. So we have the uncommon encounter, which should be any of these. Well, that's good, because we came here to slay a beast. So let's slay a beast. A dire beast. Spines, teeth, predatory. Imagine a quadruped, big, mutated hunting cat. Claws like knives. Spines like huge porcupine quills. So, we have our encounter. Pick an action from the right. Mark the next rune. We are going to overcome this. And luckily, since our HAX is made from laser and wires, we can mark any rune. So I am going to... let's compromise. We're going to gain an item and then move. So we are able to use our HAX. Imagine it's like a staff. You align the different parts of it correctly. Laser light can shoot out of this scavenged tech we have. Burns the beast. It doesn't kill it, because we do compromise here. We get part of some of its spines, its hide. So we're going to gain another HAX. So we have dead wood and hide. We have improved our staff. So, compromise. So I have to mark that rune. Let's mark this one. So we mark any because of our HAX, and then we have to move. Luckily, when we move, we can mark any. So I would like to like to move, but also we're filling up our rune matrix here. I'd like to make pace. Let's find at least one more spot, though. Find the next room to travel, flee, or escape. Let's meander. Draw weather, move to hex. So let's do that one. Draw weather. Here is weather. Mark the next rune and draw on any hexes equal to the indicated number. When you move into weather, I take a scar. So next rune is a common rune. A storm, poison, rain, corrosion, lightning. 3 anywhere. I don't want to avoid scars entirely because those actually help. I do like that there is a storm all around this Temple of Calm. Some lightning bolts in here. Very unpleasant place to be. Ripping winds, sandstorm, lightning shooting up and down from the sky. Incredibly unpleasant. Luckily, we are not there. We get to move 2, I believe. Yeah, so let's go up. 1, 2. We enter a new location. We get the next rune for location. The next, so we did our common rune for weather. Yes, that was our storm. Now we have an uncommon for location. A crater, ruins, skyscrapers. Like skyscrapers. 2 hexes worth of glass and concrete. Tall edifices. Like some collapse here. Look how tall we once were. We live in the shadow of these things now, in our communes, scraping by what we can, wondering at how far we must have fallen. This is no longer normal. These things are mazes now. Full of dangerous things that can harm us. Dens of creatures. Probably worth exploring, though. just outside the storm. Let's explore, shall we? Mark the next room. Keep on forgetting to mark the previous one. Next is a common room, which tends to mean failure, delays. Find lore, then weather, then move. Okay, well, we found something. What should we find in here? Mark that rune. Any rune. Person, place, or thing, then name it. The Sorceress Rich. Good thing it's next. Gant. Running low on runes. What was it? Weather the move, so Gant. Sorceress Rich. Who lives? In the glass towers. Right, then we have to weather. Next rune. More storms. Great. Any hexes? 3 more. I think the storm is closing in. You can see rain splattering against the glass, lightning strikes the top, concrete, rebar, and glass just to fall down around us. Then we have to move. I think we like to try to escape. So to escape, you must take the exit action. If you can't mark any of the matching runes listed in the exit table, or if you have no room to write a new scar, or if you mark the last rune on the rune matrix and have not escaped, your character dies. Erase all the character's detail and mark runes in any place on the map without a name. Alright, well, yeah, let's head out. Do have to move. So we were here. So let's go here. Remove, you can mark any. So let's do a peaceful move so we're not forced to make another. Oh, then we have to move again. So I guess we really need to get one of these success moves that isn't moving us anywhere. So we have to take the action. We're not really free to take the action because the last movie wants us to move more. Yeah, so I think if we get out of this loop, we'll be able to exit. So we move, you can mark any. So I'm going to mark you. Gain one item or hex. Let's just gain an item. Let's gain some salvage. And we moved into, well, if we moved here, we moved into a blank hex. But let's backtrack a bit. Let's say we moved into the same. Well, explore the current hex. Select one of those tables. Imagine your character does. Move in a hex, drawing, cross out the extra matrix encounter. Oof. So either way, I'm going to have to do something. Well, let's do a location then. So let's stick with the usual plan. We move there. Next is Common Rune. Oof. Lots of choices here. Let's do mountains. Oh, that kind of pits us in. So we have nowhere else to go now. I used to know a trick to making mountains. I can't remember it. Something like this. Mountains are looking like my lightning bolts. That's not good. Kind of get what I'm getting at here. Maybe. That's that. Yeah, it's not bad. Something. All right, we have mountains. Let's explore this hex, discover it. Last of these. Well, we might be in trouble here. Wait, can I do that? Yes, because I did that. Gonna find some lore about this mountain. Oh, monster. Let's name the monster that we've been hunting. It is the Oran. Four-legged beast. Spines. Sharp Claws. Hunts in the mountains. Okay, now we can exit. So, mark any runes. To escape Requiem, we need 3 sets. The rarer the better. We have 1, 2, we have 3 of the common ones. I was worried we wouldn't get any. Or the uncommon ones, I should say. Alright. The commune sees you as an ill omen. Name weather drawn on the map. Take a scar. There are rules. Is there a table for scars? I think there is. Yes. Next rune, write a scar. One level higher if there's no room. The next rune is this one. Common scar. Cut, bite, bruise, illness. Definitely cuts. You've been cut to hell by the glass and the Oron. Alright. And you have to name weather. Which means one of these weather things that we draw on the map is now just true. You know what I really like? Orfall. That is the name of the storms that prophesy the arrival of this beast. Terrible thunderstorms. Awful beasts follow. Alright, done that. We take a scar. Erase all the characters' details unless we died. After you exit, erase anything drawn on the map without a name. Erase the markings from a row or column of runes in the rune matrix to each prophecy witnessed or fulfilled. Erase those prophecies. Erase the marks from any one rune for each scar written on your character sheet. Each salvage you have marked on your character sheet. Erase your marked salvage. Those runes can now be marked again next time this character explores the Requiem. Well, we witnessed monsters. I don't think we fulfilled it. But I think it counts. So we get a column or row. Worth noting, this is a 6x6 matrix, so either one works. But let's get that middle prophecy. Monsters of Morning. I have a better eraser here. Let's erase that top. Get all those runes back. Then we had one salvage and one scar. So we erase the salvage, keep the scar. Get 2 runes back. Let's get some rare runes out of the deal here. Alright. Now we erase everything here that didn't have a name. So we have Gant, we have an Orin, we have Orfall, we have the Zen Garden. Nothing else got a name. Place didn't get a name. Characters and beasts did, but they are not on this map. So this weather I'll keep. The Zen Garden stays. The towers don't stay. The mountains don't stay, because we did not name them. Naming places is hard. So the Requiem is always changing. But the storms, for those familiar with things like extraction shooters or battleground type games, the storm always closes in, so it will remain. I think that'll do it. Maybe we can come back and do another round, see what happens to Zanam. Maybe they can kill this Oran. Maybe they'll find peace again in the Zen Garden. Maybe they'll find some other place in the Requiem. That's the game. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. If you'd like to get a copy of this game, I think it's $5. If you head to notwriting.itch.io/HAXEN, you'll find it. And if you want to help support this channel and everything I do, and get a copy of the game, head to this little site called Patreon, where for $1, $3, maybe $5, maybe $10 whole. Every month, you get HAXEN and over 3 dozen other games and supplements I've made in the last few years, and you let me keep making stuff like this. Thank you so much.